Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansu, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabansi. My handle is CTABANZ. If you want to follow the channel, Instagram, same as the channel, Dreamers Pro. And also, if you want today's full show before it comes out on YouTube, it is streaming for free on the Dreamers Pro podcast that we have pinned in the comments section below. Anyway, let's get into this topic here. Now, this was a topic that was actually referred to me on YouTube from the channel Self Talk, right? So I came across this topic, I'll say about a day or so ago, but I forgot I wasn't feeling well. Exactly. I was under the weather and I didn't have a chance to kind of get, to catch up to that topic. So I said, okay, when I'm feeling a little bit better, we're going to discuss it. So what happened? Essentially, this happened. Kimberly Martin, who works for ESPN, you've seen her on ESPN First Take, you've seen her in Get Up and various shows. She was on a panel, and essentially what they were doing was they were reacting to some comments that she made, reacting to some comments that were made by Cam Newton, because he was talking about various quarterbacks in the NFL like Dak Prescott and others, where he was basically talking about game changers and game managers, right? So Cam Newton was given his position. At the end of his position, they were now, the panel was now tasked with reacting to his comments. And then when she started talking, she decided to take a personal shot at Cam Newton as she was addressing his comments, which then drew a lot of criticism. So for those of you who didn't hear what she had to say, that's what we want to actually focus on today. But before we even get into her comments, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what she had to say about Cam Newton, and I also want you guys to listen to Cam Newton himself talking, and then we're going to come back and get into the meat and potatoes of the show. So take a listen to that there.
Parody, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, and really, Dak Prescott. These are game managers. They're not difference makers.
When you say game manager, I'm not asking you to go out and win the game. I'm just asking you not to lose.
Not to lose the game. Exactly. Listen, I don't give a damn what you do. You don't have to score every time. You just don't have to throw a pick every time either. If we're going to really call a spade, there's a difference between managers of the game and difference makers of a game.
Like, give me a break. I'm just so, honestly, move past the outfit for a second. He literally said, in the year of 2023, where it's all about NFL backups, where is Cam? Not on an NFL roster, right? So he's talking about all these NFL game managers. He sounds like the people literally tweeting at me from their basement, like, get back in the kitchen. Like, it's like you are at home watching me. Just turn the TV off.
Probably in the kitchen.
It just sounds so foolish.
So you heard what she had to say. So those were her comments. And then when she put out those comments, a lot of people started pushing back on her, including Ryan Clark, who's also a colleague of hers at ESPN. But we're going to get to his response in a subsequent video. But after I watched that video, I started looking around the internet to see what other people were saying about her. And we kept on getting this reoccurring thing of Malika Andrews, Malika Andrews, Malika Andrews. Now, what do we know about Malika Andrews? Malika Andrews, obviously, is a very talented, orator, moderator for ESPN. But she has this certain proclivity where whenever black athletes seem to have a blunder or there's some controversial news about them, she seems to jump all over the story. Right. And she's also gotten into situations where she's disrespected and gone at some of her male counterparts on television. We cannot forget the exchange that she had with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take a number, let me say over a year ago, over the Ime Udoka situation. And she came on his show. And number one, she had already come to the conclusion that he was the villain. That's number one, without having all the information. Number two, she then decided to basically try to scold Stephen A. Smith on the show and basically dictate the terms of what the show was going to be like. And he basically pushed back on her on live television. So whenever you see people drawing this parallel, I believe that's what they're talking about. Let's get into her comments. She took a personal shot at Cam Newton by, first of all, talking about how he dresses. Number one, that's out of bounds. Now, I think it's also important to say this though, that there is a human component in all of this, which is we're all people. None of us are robots, and sometimes we get it right, and sometimes we get it wrong. To me, this is the first time I have seen her have this type of situation publicly. It's not like as if it's a chronic issue where we can go back and say, okay, she said this about this person, she said that about that person over there. I haven't seen that. Now, if the information is out there, if the tape is out there, then you guys let me know. I'll be open to hearing that in the comment section, but I haven't seen that up until this point. So that's the first part. Secondly, sometimes we do end up crossing a line, and sometimes we do it on purpose, and other times we don't realize that we're doing it. I give you guys a perfect example of what I'm talking about, and I'll relate it to myself. I was one of those people that used to take a very strong position on some of the things that Gilbert Arenas said in terms from a basketball standpoint, and some of the things that he said in general. And then at certain points I would cross the line where it would go beyond just me commenting on what he's saying, and then I'll now start taking personal attacks, like, oh, Gilbert Arenas is an idiot, and da-da-da-da. And then it had to be brought to my attention, like, okay, hold on, you're crossing the line here, right? And I had to self-correct. So I'm not going to speak from a sanctimonious position and be like, oh, no, I'm so holy, I'm so great. But it doesn't mean that Gilbert Arenas is perfect. Everyone has their thing. Everyone is going to make a mistake from time. Stephen A. Smith does it, Shannon Sharp does it, Skip Bayless, everybody does it. The key is, number one, to realize when you've made the mistake, and I think that's the reason why Ryan Clark pointed that out. I think that if people bring this to her attention, like, hey, listen, if you're going to critique Cam Newton and, critique his opinion, that's one thing. But getting into the personal shots about how he dresses, how he looks, and all of that, that's absolutely unnecessary, right? Now, if she heeds those words and she's like, hey, I crossed the line, I went too far, that's one thing. But I can see now if it's a chronic thing where she's constantly doing it, where there's a pattern, then that's another thing. And that's where Malika Andrews triangulated herself into. Malika Andrews did it so much that when the Josh Giddey situation arose, everyone was pointing in her direction like, okay, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you based on your past behavior. There was a specific reason people were targeting her and not other people. So that's my opinion on it. This is the first time I'm seeing something like this. If it has happened before, then I'd be happy if you guys share it in the comment sections. I've never seen it, so I can't speak to that personally. But, it was wrong for her to talk about him personally. From what I understand, Cam Newton did put out a response video in response to that, but I don't think it should have gone that far. But to me, I think sometimes people cross the line and they make mistakes. And if this is her first time, then I can understand it. If it's something that she always does, then that's a totally different thing. But these are my thoughts. So what I want to know from you guys is, number one, what do you think about her analysis? Number two, if you heard what Cam Newton said, what do you think about his response? And number three, do you think this will happen again? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.